Before dawn on December 6, 2020, the Japanese asteroid explorer, Hayabusa2, whose mission was to elucidate the two major themes of it, finally brought back samples of the asteroid Ryugu. Hayabusa2 stayed at Ryugu for 17 months. It was a mission that seemed to be smooth sailing, such as creating an artificial crater with a diameter of about 10 meters and achieving an amazing touchdown with a landing accuracy of 60 centimeters, achieving 7 world firsts in quick succession. However, behind the scenes was filled with hardships. Hayabusa2 was launched on December 3, 2014. 3.5 years after the departure from the Earth, a big problem was discovered. Asteroid Ryugu, which Hayabusa2 arrived at, was an asteroid of rocks that was completely different from the one expected in advance, and there was no space where Hayabusa2 could safely land. The project team faced a new challenge of finding a safe place for Hayabusa2 to land. Therefore, the team requested Tomokazu Murata in the University of Tokyo, who is an expert in image analysis of planets, to create a map of Ryugu that describes the location and height of tens of thousands of rocks accurately. After spending time working hard every day till late night without holidays for about a month, the team found out that there was almost no place for Hayabusa2 to land. Hayabusa2 was designed with a landing area of 50 meters diameter, but with that accuracy there is a high possibility that the spacecraft will collide with rocks on the ground while landing. Therefore, the project team reprogrammed the computer to improve the landing accuracy to an error of 1 meter, and sent it to Hayabusa2. The first machine, Hayabusa1, tried to get samples of the asteroid by landing only once but could not get enough quantity of samples that can be visible without microscope. So, Hayabusa2 planned to try sampling by landing twice. However, since there are almost no landing space and there is a risk of a crash, opinions divided depending on whether or not to make 2 landings. Therefore, the project team conducted 100,000 landing simulations and was convinced that it would be possible to land safely. And 2 landings on 2 different landing spots were decided as originally planned. At one point of the time, Team Hayabusa2 was driven to the point where landing was in jeopardy, but under young leader Yuichi Suda, who was appointed as a project manager in his 30s. The project team found solutions one after another facing adversity and finally got over it. Behind that feat was a well-prepared and amazing equation of success. What was behind the scenes of a landing mission that doesn't allow your breathing by the excitement? Crazy games in order to solve the difficult problems that God creates one after another. The symbolic thing was training. Members say they trained 100 times more than they did at the first machine, Hayabusa1. Let's look at an example. You can see how thoroughly it is. The Hayabusa2 team repeatedly practiced realistically using computers. It is a training to anticipate all troubles in advance and experience them. Computer in the control room that is used for actual operation reproduces the movement of the real Hayabusa2. The images displayed on the monitor and the commands sent by radio waves from the ground were all the same as the actual flight. There was such a training simulator in the first machine, Hayabusa1. But in Hayabusa2, the team made one that more faithfully reproduces the actual movement. Training has been conducted from January 2017 as needed. Participants were not only staff members of JAXA, but all the people involved in the production, such as NEC and researchers in charge of observation equipment. The training will be divided into 2 groups. One is a questioner called God, in another room with a simulator. Then, the trainee will operate Hayabusa2 in the control room just like the actual flight. God causes various troubles here. The members of the control room need to resolve it and make a successful landing. There are a total of 6 gods, including project manager Hayabusa2. Its power is immense. The gods can cause anything. Of course, the members of the control room do not know what will happen. Combine hundreds of troubles and set up a completely different situation for each training. Single training sometimes continued for 30 hours. These trainings have been repeated about 70 times over a 2-year period. Yuto Takei, one of the roles of God, specializes in orbit calculation. Takei was particular about creating a harsh situation. There are a wide variety of problems that God causes. For example, the altitude meter sometimes displays anomalous values. In addition, the thrust of the thruster will be lower than usual and it will not be possible to move as desired with a single injection. Furthermore, the reaction wheel that controls the posture also breaks down. The device may also display an error due to the effects of radiation. These troubles will be caused one after another in single training. There is still more. During the training, God suddenly comes to the control room and covers computer display trainees are using with paper to make it unusable. It's assumption for a trouble that a computer suddenly breaks down. Also, God sometimes creates a situation that communication between Hayabusa2 and the ground is not possible due to bad weather. Furthermore, the trouble that the person in charge does not come back after going to the toilet also occurs. For example, if God gives the person a red card, he cannot return to the control room. The other members remaining must operate Hayabusa2 without the missing member. This is because of possibility that members may disappear due to sudden illness during the actual flight control. These troubles do not always occur one by one. The 6 gods were mean and usually cause multiple troubles at the same time for the training. Only 9 great successes out of 48 trainings. Furthermore, the gods visualize the results of such training. That's a diary on the wall of the control room. On each training day, one of great success, a little more, and shoot down stickers is labeled one by one on the diary. The training results are pretty bad. It is said that landing trainings that took a long time are 48 trainings. Of these, 9 were great successes. But the god shot down Hayabusa2 21 times. In other words, Hayabusa2 crashed 21 times. Takei, who plays the role of God, says, "What should the operation members do when an unplanned abnormal occurs? I was very particular about it. I can't say it's okay, but I could have done it close to what I'm saying. As a result, I noticed something. In fact, I shot down 21 times, but I found what we need to do more for the operation. And all of them are reflected in the actual operation." Project manager Suda is also one of the gods. Suda explained the importance of this training. The room we are in is the heavenly world, and the control room is the human world. God can cause us anything. At one point of time, God suddenly breaks down a computer. Then the people in the control room get being impatient. The most important is how to handle it in an abnormal situation. Since God does various things with a will, some members of the human world began to blaspheme God, saying, "This cannot happen." Some people have begun to look ahead to troubles. And at the end, the members start doing something unexpected that God couldn't imagine at all to solve the problem. Suda said there was some trainings that left a strong impression on him. It was a training done in 2018. In this training, a problem in which the injection of the thruster that controls the attitude is uneven was occurred. In landing, that accuracy is required. Landing is almost impossible if the injection of the requested thruster is abnormal. God thought that the team would give up landing and leave urgently. However, The team corrected the error on the premise of the variation in the injection of the thruster, and succeeded in the touchdown brilliantly. At this time, Suda thought, the team has finally surpassed God. Technique is not the only one they got in the trainings. By repeating thorough and practical training, Suda realized some effects. One is communication skills. The operation consists of not only members of the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, but also people who participated from other JAX institutions, the universities, and manufacturers. It is said that the ability of communicating between the members was refined while overcoming the harsh training together. In addition, they made efforts that were not done in the first machine Hayabusa2. Scientists and engineers participated in the training together. At the first machine, the training was centered on engineering members who operate the spacecraft. In Hayabusa2, they agree that mismatches between all members have disappeared. The communication skills became better and a sense of solidarity was born. There are any others also. Its ability of imagination. By experiencing such troubles that are said to be impossible, everyone naturally acquired the imagination of thinking about what to do. Suda says so. Imagination is an essential ability for unprecedented challenges. No matter how much they prepare, nobody knows what will happen next in a challenge. Whenever something unexpected happens, you need a flexible imagination to get out of a pinch. He said that there was another that Suda had obtained through thorough training. What the team needs for the world first obtained from training. It's that the line between what you want to do and what you can do has been identified. The team is aiming for a world's first challenge that nobody has ever done at the universe that is much far from the Earth. Naturally, a daring challenge is required. However, not everything can be going as desired due to such as the ability of the spacecraft and the harsh space environment. In the process of repeating many mistakes in trainings, we gradually became aware of the boundaries between where we can do and where we can't do. NEC leader Takeshi Oshima, who is in charge of system design, assembling, testing, and integration of the entire Hayabusa2, recalls that he was able to make a decision without hesitation because of thorough training. I prepared about 100 times as much as I did for the first spacecraft Hayabusa1. I prepared all divided so finely even if something seems unnecessary in a look. Even when trouble occurs during the first landing operation, I thought this may be still a training also being tested by God, and I was able to operate it with that kind of feeling. As a result, I was able to fulfill the revenge of the first machine. The team, anyway, checked all for the space trip and was completely trained before the success. They prepared all until they were confident. Then, finally they brought back the treasure box from the monster asteroid Ryugu to the Earth. Everything was calculated and trained perfectly in advance, which led to great success of Hayabusa2 project. Only a capsule containing samples of the asteroid Ryugu has returned to Earth this time. After launching the capsule, Hayabusa2 set out on a space trip of 10 billion kilometers toward a next target. A 30 meters diameter asteroid 1998 KY26, existing between the Earth and Mars. It's scheduled to arrive 11 years later, in July 2031. Thank you very much for watching. Next video coming soon. See you.